Everybody, what is going down? Let me fix my shit real quick. My bad, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Juan on Juan. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust all my stuff. There we go. Gotta warn you, I'm on the injured list this week. A little under the weather. This nostril, this is my left nostril. This guy is like, I have the nostril of like a banker in the 80s. Like it's a constant leakage. And no, I'm not on coke. This nostril is just constantly leaking just water. Maybe I don't know what it is, but I'm sneezing like crazy. I can't stop sneezing. I got all this crap. I'm trying not to rub my nose raw, so I'm using like the good tissue paper with like the aloe vera in it. But man, I'm sneezing like so. If I start sneezing, if I sound a little nasally, my apologies. But I know I'm not gonna miss a show like someone else I know. I don't know, RJ was really feeling really bad. For him to miss a show, it's a big deal. Just giving him shit. So welcome everybody to another edition of Juan on Juan. I'm Juan Soto, the Autumn Windbags, your boy. Thank you everybody for joining and for supporting. Before we go any further, you know how I start. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. On the very bottom over here, you can see a little bell. Go ahead and click on that to get notifications so you get alerted to your phone or your email, however you have it set up, when a new video drops of the Autumn Windbags or when either RJ or myself go live. So you never miss a minute. A lot of stuff going on today. A lot of stuff going on in the Raider world, but not so much in the Raider world, but in the NFL, there's some very interesting things going on right now. Before we go any further, James Furpo, Raiders, what's up, man? Thanks, man. Thanks for the love. Daryl, man. Yeah, you were here from last week too. You had a lot of good comments last week. Monkeypox. Yeah, dude, freaking your butthole got monkeypox, Hefe. Bob, my boy. Jumpman, what's up, man? Nice, man. Nice. Well, thank you for staying up for the show, Jumpman. Appreciate it. So that's been my weekend. So Friday we had fights. My gym had 4 fighters fighting, and we went 3-1. Good job by the guys. Everyone fought hard. A couple of the guys who were a little bit more. Everyone is committed, but there was a couple of the guys who were a little bit more committed to their strength and conditioning. Those are the guys that won. If any of you guys have ever thought about been or know anyone who wants to be a fighter, you can never have enough cardio. That's something that you can never have enough of. It's a great weapon to have. If you can put pressure on somebody for longer, you can break them. And when you watch somebody break and they're trying to pull for something that's not there, and you still have gas, and you see the look on their face when you're still coming, it's pretty rough. It's a pretty rough feeling when you're gassed out. Trust me, I know. You'd be wondering why I'm drinking out of this fucking thing with no straw like an idiot. Because we're so excited about winning all these fights. Took off Friday night, and I left my hydro flask at the fights. Crap, I run back in, search for it. Of course, everyone's like, I don't know where it is. It's a $75 hydro flask just sitting there. I'm not gonna want to take it, right? So I thought I lost it. I hit up, on Instagram. I posted, hey, if anyone from the fights knows where my hydro flask is, and one of the members from the gym actually picked it up for me, so I'm gonna get it tomorrow. So we'll be good. Steve the Cockfighter, he has way too much cardio. I think Steve the Cockfighter's right arm has too much cardio. I think that's what it is. That's how he gets his heart rate up. Oh, God. I'm just glad I'm not sneezing right now. Got a sneeze attack like 5 minutes ago, and I was freaking out a little bit. All right, so let's get started today, guys. That's all the non-football related news that's going on right now. First thing I want to talk about is more Raiders hate. So we're a 10-win playoff team who got better weapons offensively, a better scheme, and better weapons defensively, and we're ranked lower than we were last year. I don't get it. I don't understand. The latest FPI rankings on ESPN have the Raiders ranked 14th in the NFL, which is like the middle. 14, 15, 16 is like the middle. Last in the AFC West with only a 19% chance of winning the division. You look here and you see the Chargers are ranked 7th with 29% chance to win the West. Denver is ranked 4th with a 27% chance to win the West. I don't know how that works out when you have a lower ranked team with a higher percentage of winning. Then you have, Denver was 12 with a 27% chance to win the West. KC was ranked 4th with a 26% chance to win, which doesn't make sense. They have a higher chance, by 1% of what they're saying, to win the West, but they're 8 spots lower ranking. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, all it is more Raiders hate. We're always going to get hated on. It's just the way it is. The problem that I see with a lot of these rankings is there's a lot of stuff that you can't take into account. Like, I mean, they're just looking at how good somebody should be by how good of a player they are, which is part of it, but how well they play together with their teammates, how good they are in crunch time, intangibles like special teams really isn't taken into account a lot of times. I think it's just like the hype. This is all hype right now. Who has the most hype? Who has the sexiest pick? As good as a receiver as Devontae Adams is, he's not a flashy guy. He's not out there. He's not wearing the grill and the chains, and he's not beating up his baby mama or whooping his kids like fucking like Tyreek, like your boy Hefe, like Tyreek Hill beating on his kids and shit, breaking their arms. Like, he's not doing that stuff, so he's not getting headlines. So yeah, when the season starts and he starts producing, yeah, he'll get a lot of headlines that way, but he doesn't get headlines off the field, so he doesn't have a lot of hype behind him. This is all hype. This is all hype. It's all it is. So let's see here. Let's see what we got going here. Let's see. Dude, Daryl, you're telling me, bro. My freaking nose is leaking like crazy. And then, like, I get stuffed up and shit. Like, it's terrible. Jorge, what's up, baby? Yeah, always, baby. Always keep it 100. You got to. Connecticut Raider, Ryan. Nice. Nick Wright has us going 6-11. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Some of these predictions we have, like 6 wins, like it's nuts. Let's see here. What else we got on here? I know, man, that's crazy, but at least we're not like killing our baby mamas, then offing ourselves in our practice facility parking lot. Oh, you forgot about that? At least we're not racing a freaking another car and crashing on the side of the road and burning up like a freaking chicken wing. Oh, you forgot about that? At least we're not such a terrible parent that our freaking kids off themselves because we let them do basically whatever they want. Hefe KC, should I go on? Should I keep going? Okay, that's what I thought. So cut it out. Okay, Hefe KC got me a little riled up. Bro, that's plenty. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? I let you on here, and all you do is your first thing you do is start talking shit. You want to be cool, cool, be fine. But if you want to fucking come in here and start talking shit and just riling everybody up, you know why that affects me? Because the more you rile people up, the less they're listening to me and what I'm trying to do here. So chill. Okay. I don't have time for this shit today, man. I don't have the patience. I feel like shit, and I don't have the patience for it. I'll be honest with you right now. Okay. Let's get on to our topics for today. Is Daniel Snyder on his way out? This is crazy, man. This is nuts. An anonymous NFL owner said that they were counting votes to force Snyder out as the owner of the Commanders. So you need 24 votes to get rid of an owner. And there's 32 teams. So of course, you're not going to vote yourself out. So that's like 3/4 of the league needs to vote you out. That's nuts. That's absolutely crazy. So Patrick Walker of CBS Sports wrote in an article about the NFL owners' feelings on Snyder. Okay, check this out. A team owner said this. Okay, of course it's anonymous. He's not going to give his name, but a team owner said this to Patrick Walker. There's growing frustration about the Washington situation, and not over one issue, but over how much smoke there is. I think everybody's getting tired of it. Okay, how much smoke there is, let's take a look at what is actually going down. Okay. So we're going to talk about what's been going on in Washington. Here's what's been going on in Washington. They were giving the whole thing about the emails was about a toxic work environment, right? A toxic work culture, like the executive level. That's what started it all. Once that started getting probed in, there's like allegations of inappropriate behavior involving like their own cheerleaders, like pimping them out and shit, like straight up pimping them out, like sending them to like I think it was like trade shows and like having them like make sure that you cuddle up to all these executives and shit like that. And that's like probably the tame version of it. Now, here's the worst allegation of all. Okay. The worst allegation of all is that Snyder and his executive staff had two separate accounting books. One accounting book that they shared with the NFL, which had some, I think it was ticket dollars or some kind of, I think it was mostly ticket money, not accounted for. And then another one, which is the true books, which had everything, right? Now, if that's true, I don't see how the NFL owners can keep Daniel Snyder around. I don't care how rich these owners are. You're fucking with their money. They don't care how much it is, right? There was a quote by, I think it was Warren Buffett. He said, if you got 1/4% of 1/4% on every dollar that you had every day of your life, you'd be searching the couch cushions for money. And that's how rich these guys are, is their money makes enough money for them to live. Like they don't have to dip into any of their money. Their money makes them plenty of money to live, right? So saying, oh, well, this guy's a billionaire. What does he need fucking $10 million for? It doesn't matter, right? They're going to want to have all the money. Like that's how they get to be to that point, is they count every dollar. So taking away money from the NFL, that's huge. So you can get away with a lot of things in the NFL and still be welcome back, right? You can smack a chick on camera. You can kick a chick in the head on camera, right? Another KC player at the time. You can kill dogs and shit. You can stab somebody. You can run somebody over. You can do a lot of different things. But you can't mess with their money. You don't mess with an NFL owner's money. Now, the NFL is like it literally is the good old boys network, right? It that's just what it is. Once they have you in, they want to make sure that they let you in only if you've proved that you're going to be like one of their boys. Like you have to prove it to them because they'll let you do pretty much anything as long as you don't draw a lot of heat to yourself, which and then draws a lot of heat to the other NFL owners. Internal stuff, stuff that doesn't get out to the public, stuff that gets out to the media but then washes away, that stuff is not a huge deal. Now, if the government is looking after you, it's the government is looking at you, the government is wanting to come down on you, that's a huge freaking deal because you don't want all those eyeballs on what you guys are doing. Because if those who look, find, right? And if you're looking for something, you're going to find it. So the Commanders are also being investigated by Congress. They're being investigated by the Federal Trade Commission and the Virginia Attorney General. So high-ranking like offices in our government are looking at the Commanders. So that's another bad strike for Daniel Snyder, bringing a lot of bad attention to the NFL. The outside scrutiny is a big concern as well. So Walker continues to write. He says, if like the financial bullshit, right, happened, I think that's the nail in the coffin, said a second owner to USA Today. We're counting votes. Okay, not very good news for the Washington Commanders and Daniel Snyder. Actually, it might be good news for the Washington Commanders. Who knows? But not very good news for Daniel Snyder. So you may be asking yourself, how does this affect the Raiders? Well, let's talk about it. So, how does this affect the Raiders? Well, with government probing the Commanders and their front office, could it be possible that the rest of the emails actually get leaked and get released or get uncovered? Because it was an investigation done internally. And if this investigation gets broadened by the government, they could, order the emails to be released. So it's pretty crazy if that happens. Now, if that happens, what will that save for a possible cover-up by the NFL on a lot of the Daniel Snyder and Washington Commander stuff? If they find a lot of malfeasance, a lot of wrongdoings by the Commanders, crap, man, it could be really bad for the Roger Goodell in the NFL. Speaking of Roger Goodell, if the NFL and or Roger Goodell were exposed covering stuff up and maybe specifically targeting John Gruden, that's also really big. And lastly, can the ousting of Daniel Snyder actually keep Mark Davis off the crosshairs? It's possible. I think that you're already looking for one new owner, which is for Denver, right? If you push out Daniel Snyder, you're going to have a group or the NFL or whoever run the team basically and just go from there and then look for a new owner from there. The vetting process is long, it's arduous, and again, it's still a good old boys network, and they want to make sure they get guys to come in that are kind of with the program, right? That kind of play along and, go along to get along. Now, that's one side of it. They don't want to have to replace, like if they're replacing two, as hard and as long as they've looked for a new Denver owner, they're going to have to look for a second owner if Snyder's out. That's rough. If you do that, now you're going to want to get Davis into hot water and have to look potentially for a third owner. That's even tougher. I don't think they're going to want to do that. So it could be good news for Mark Davis and the Raiders. I don't think anything was going to come from all this crap that Ventrelli said anyway. But there is a possibility that it could make Mark Davis's seat hotter because if some of these allegations turn out to be true, it looks bad. It looks like it shines a light on the whole NFL. Oh, look, now that Daniel Snyder's doing this, but also look at Mark Davis in Las Vegas has been, accused of doing this. Who else in the NFL has been doing this stuff? Who else has a toxic work environment? Who else has inappropriate behavior and all this other stuff? So I don't know. Yet to be seen right now. It looks like the drama and all the heat is focused on Daniel Snyder again. This dude has like, Teflon, on his back. He just can't get hit with anything yet. But a lot of these stuff, if you could, like I said, you could do a lot of things in the NFL, but don't mess with an owner's money. And if he's messing with the owner's money, I think it's going to be gone. Uh, lot of stuff going on that's pretty crazy. Um, so right now, I want to get to your comments and questions. A lot of stuff going on here. Oh, let's see. Steve the Cockfighter. McDaniels has shown nothing to prove he's a capable coach. That's why the Raiders are predicted fourth. Talented team, but they all are in the West. Well, that's for sure. Every team in the West is super talented. Has McDaniels proved himself as a NFL head coach? Probably not. The last time he was a head coach, like 12 years ago or whatever, 11 years ago, didn't go well. Has he learned since then? Maybe. Maybe not. We're banking on that he has. From all accounts, he sounds a lot different than he has in the past, as far as being a little bit more self-reflective and a little bit more willing to take blame and ownership. And also, not only that, but also how to fix it moving forward. There's these empty sayings like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I should have done better. I should have looked at myself more." But then, like, they don't talk about how they're going to improve that moving forward. And McDaniels has talked about that, so we'll see. Raider Kojo 916 CFA. This is the shit I'm talking about. You need to behave on a Raider channel. Yeah, man. I don't have a problem with anybody being on here, but if you're just on here to troll and talk shit, just do that somewhere else, man. Like, I have no problem with you being on here. I don't have a problem with anyone being on here. But you're gonna troll that. I don't want that. I don't want that. You're just gonna hype everybody up and take everyone's attention away from the show. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Hyperbolic. They might get rid of them because they're trying to steal money from the league for the past few years. They don't like it when you mess with their greens. Hyperbolic, like I said, you can do a lot of things and still be cool with the NFL. But don't mess with that money, baby. See what we got going here. Oh, okay, Daryl. Neither did Rich Bisaccia, but he led us to the playoffs, Steve. Got to give these guys a shot to show they got it. And I agree. Let's see here. Yeah, Anthony Provencino. Oh, I'm sorry, Provencio. My mistake, sir. Anthony Provencio. Mark Davis will be fine. I agree. Let's see here. Provencio again. Our offense is unstoppable. It doesn't matter who the coach is. Carr has chemistry with everyone on it. McDaniel is plenty proven he's capable of running the team. We shall see. Connecticut Raider Ryan writes, I believe it's Brandon Staley can't coach a team to save his life and doesn't have the child beater, opens up entire offense, and RW has to learn a new system. Oh, is that I don't know who RW is. Who's RW? Am I missing something? DC has the best connection with his receivers in the AFC West. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Russell Wilson. Yeah, you're right, bro. Yeah, Russell Wilson has to learn a new system. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that the system is going to be too much different than what he did in Seattle. I think just a lot of play action, a lot of RPO. I think the system's going to be very similar to what he did. A lot of deep shots. I think it's going to be very similar. The type of offense that he runs, you just go team to team and run the same shit. All right. So, one other thing I want to talk about, man, with these first 5 games, dude, these first 5 games that we have coming up is going to be, we have to come out hot. Have to come out hot. So, of course, we start the first game of the season. We start off with the Chargers. It's a pseudo home game. Oh, here we go. Oh, I stopped it. All right. First game of the season is a road game, but kind of a home game against the Chargers. That's going to be a big game. Not only is it a team that's vying for a playoff spot in the AFC, they're also a divisional opponent. And in the first 5 weeks of the season, we play all of our division opponents. I don't think we've ever done that since I can remember. We play them this quickly. So week 1 against the Chargers, perennial, like they're picked by everyone to finish first, pretty much. The people that the stuff that I've seen that's not like Kansas City, related, and from a fan and from their network, most people are picking the Chargers to win the West. Next, we have Arizona at home, who has a playoff team from last year. Nook Hopkins is going to be gone for the first 5 weeks or 6 weeks, I think. 4, maybe, I don't know. I remember something like that. 5 weeks. So there's that. You get Hollywood Brown. I'm not super sold on Hollywood Brown, but I mean, he caught 90 plus balls last year. So we'll see how that offense runs. Kyler Murray, runs around. Usually in the early parts of the year is when the Cardinals are playing their best. The next is the number 1 seed in the AFC last year, the Titans. Lost A.J. Brown. Who knows? They're going to have maybe rely a little heavier on their running game, on the running attack. That wasn't a defending the run wasn't a highlight of ours, or it hasn't been in the recent years. That's another tough matchup at Tennessee. We get the Broncos at home. Then we go to the Chiefs. So these first 5 weeks are going to be a big deal for us. We need to make sure that we start off quickly. If we're 3-2 after these first 5 weeks, that's a good one. As long as 2 of those 3 are division victories, I want to make sure that we win at least 2 of these 3. I'm trying to be optimistic here, but it's a rough starting patch for us. These are 5, playoff caliber teams, and having 3 of the 5 weeks on the road is not optimal, although the first game of the year is a kind of a pseudo home game. But yeah, Titans and Kansas City are tough places to play. So what else we got going here, guys? Steve the Cockfighter again. There's no way Carr is a top 8 quarterback in the AFC. How would the Raiders manage to win 3 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl? Is it time to rebuild or rebuild? Here's the thing with Derek Carr, and I don't know that his physical tools are top 8 in the AFC, because there's a lot of good quarterbacks, a lot of good, young, strong-armed, fast, athletic quarterbacks, especially in the AFC. But it's not always about how talented of a thrower you are. It's how good you play the position. How good are you at managing your clock? How good are you at drawing penalties? How good are you at controlling the line of scrimmage as a quarterback? I think Derek Carr does that really well. Not having a number 1 receiver for quite some time. And you could talk about Waller all you want being a top target as a tight end. We have a legitimate WR1 who is maybe not just a WR1 for most teams. He's a WR1 maybe in the entire NFL. So you have that. You have an elite player at tight end in Darren Waller, and you have probably the best slot receiver in the NFL in Hunter Renfrow. So with all those tools, it's tough, man. It's tough to say that Derek Carr isn't going to be better. Now, the issue that I have with Carr is for all the attempts and all the yards and all this stuff that he does, his touchdown totals are very, very, very low. Okay. I mean, he had touchdown totals near Tannehill, and Tannehill does not throw the ball that often. It's a running team, and he had damn near the same amount of touchdown passes as a passing quarterback from a passing offense in Derek Carr. So only 24. I mean, I think he's only had over 30 touchdown passes once in his career. I don't know, man. Once or twice, maybe. It's just not. He needs to throw more touchdowns. It's just the way it is. If you're going to be that type of player in the NFL, you have to throw for more touchdowns. He's definitely not going to run for more touchdowns. So you need to account for more touchdowns. And unfortunately, he had 14 interceptions and 7 lost fumbles. So 24 touchdowns against 21 turnovers. That's not a great percentage. Hopefully, with better targets, maybe a more dynamic offense, meaning a more focused, game planned offense week to week, not just this is what we run. Let's go ahead and run it type of thing. We'll have a little bit better results. All righty. Raiders 75-28. I was backstage on day 2 of the draft, and I heard Kaepernick's name pop up a lot with discussing the Raiders. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to be something that we're going to want to do. It's just normally when you have backup quarterbacks in the NFL, the backup quarterbacks have a similar style to the starting quarterback. So you don't have to drastically change your offense if the backup has to come in, right? Look at the Ravens. Like their backup quarterbacks were strong-armed, running mobile quarterbacks. And so they don't have to change their offensive system, when if the starter gets hurt. That's why having Marcus Mariota as our backup was a little bit suspect, because he's not the same type of quarterback as Carr is. Let's see what else we got. Man, my freaking nose is going crazy right now. Anthony, cap is cap. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't. I'm not saying I don't believe you that you didn't hear that. I just don't think that's going to happen. Yoshi Mitsui. Hell no on cap. And the last time he played, he didn't do very well. Let's see here. Steve the Cockfighter again with all the inside info. Who does RJ love more, Jackson Mahomes or Carr? I don't think anyone loves anyone or anything more than RJ loves Derek Carr. I think we can agree on that. All right. Let's see here. Hyperbolic. I think the schedule is meant to build momentum. You go against the tough teams the first 5 games. After bye, you go through easier teams, then late season in primetime mayhem. It makes sense, man. The one thing is you don't want to lose a lot of games late and have to win out or win a long stretch like we did last year. Lose a lot of games early, and then late we have to go on a big run. A 3-2 before the bye, and then we're going to have the Texans, the Saints, the Jags, the Colts, the Broncos again. That's a pretty easy stretch there. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how it all works out. We'll see how Matt Ryan with the Colts. I'm interested to see how he performs with a different style of offense, with a more of a running style offense. We'll see how he performs, because you have guys who are normally more of a gunslinger and get thrown into an offense that's more run heavy, that makes their mistakes highlighted even more. Like Phillip Rivers went to the Colts and he was more of a gunslinger, throw the ball a bunch type, and he didn't throw the ball as much. He turned the ball over a whole hell of a lot with the Colts. Now he threw the ball for some touchdowns. He was older, but man, he made a lot of turnovers, a lot more often than he did when he was with the Chargers. And I think it's because that's just who he is as a gunslinger by nature. And you just can't turn that. Excuse me, they can't turn that light switch off. Jameis Winston coming off of injury. The Texans are who the Texans are. The Jags are who the Jags are. I'm not 100% sold on the Broncos yet. We'll have to see how they. Everyone likes to like applaud their skill groups, and you know they have a good line. They have decent running backs. Their receivers are okay. They haven't done anything special. We'll see. We'll see. I know they haven't had too much as far as quarterback wise throwing to them in Denver, but their best receiver, their tight end, Fant, is gone. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not super sold on that. So the first 5 games, a little bit rough. Get an early bye. The next 5 games look to be a lot easier. The next 5 after that, we got the Sea Chickens, we got the Chargers again, the Rams, the Pats, and the Steelers. Like three pretty tough games there. The Chargers are going to be a tough game just because, you know, they're a division opponent and they're the Chargers. The Rams are going to be a tough game. They're defending champs and they really didn't lose a lot. I don't have a problem going to Pittsburgh. I really don't. We showed that we can win there last year, and they're gonna have what? They're gonna have fucking Mitchie baby throw-in or a rookie throwing for them there, like a quarterback. Not a huge deal for me. Hang on a second, guys. Ooh, fought another one off. Then the Pats. The Pats always play us tough for whatever reason, even though Mac isn't that great of a quarterback, even though they don't really have a lot of skill players. Defensively, they're good and sound, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. It's always going to be a tough game. But then, you know, you end with the Niners and the Chiefs, fucking Bay Area rival, and then a division rival to end the year. What do you guys think about the schedule so far? Let's see. Steve the Cockfighter says, I'm buying everyone here around at the 49er bar in Long Beach as long as Soto shows up. Well, that ain't going to happen because I feel like shit. Anthony, you want to go? I know you're in the area. I know you're local. The Truth says, when we gonna see emails from John Gruden? They didn't mind showing Von Miller's and Antonio Brown's text messages on the spot. I'm telling you, man, with Dan Snyder, if the probe starts getting deeper and deeper, like RJ likes it, into the Dan Snyder, you know, shenanigans, you may see those emails opened up sooner than later. All right, guys. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I feel like absolute monkey shit. So I'm gonna take off. I want to make sure everyone understands how much I appreciate you guys, how much I appreciate the listeners, even the haters out there. Appreciate you guys too for keeping me on my toes. Make sure everyone like, comment, and subscribe. On the corner there, you're gonna see a bell for notifications. Click that little guy. You'll get notified whenever we drop a new video or RJ and I go live. Tell everybody, tell Raider fans you see on the streets, tell your friends, tell your haters, tell your mamas, tell everybody about the Autumn Windbags and other Raider content creators. We're doing our best for you guys. If you're not good, be good at it. We don't want to see anyone here get caught up. Everyone shows up for the season. Everyone has a good time watching the games. All right, guys. Have a good week, and we'll see you. I think RJ will be here on Tuesday. Let me hear it. Raiders! See you later, guys.